Once upon a time in the village of Umueze, children ran around barefoot, laughing under the hot sun. The village was full of tall palm trees and red sand. The people were happy and kind. They told stories every night under the moonlight. But something strange happened one morning. A loud sound came from the forest. It was like thunder. Boom! Everybody ran out of their huts. Old Mama Nkechi shouted, "It is her! She is back! Who is back?" the children asked. "The girl with the shining eyes, the one they called MonaLisa," Mama Nkechi said, shaking. The name MonaLisa had not been spoken for 5 years. Many people thought she was gone forever, but Mama Nkechi knew the truth. Long ago, MonaLisa was just a quiet girl in the village. She lived with her father, a strong hunter, and her mother, who made sweet palm oil soup. But one night, something happened. A thief came to Umueze. He was not just a man, he had magic. His name was Ojukwu, the Shadow. He stole a powerful drum from the village shrine. That drum could call rain, wind, or fire. Without the drum, the land became dry. No rain came, the rivers stopped flowing, people began to suffer. MonaLisa saw everything. She followed the thief into the dark forest, but she never came back. Everyone thought she was gone forever. But now, the sky had changed, the wind was strong, and someone had seen a girl with shining eyes near the forest. "MonaLisa has returned!" Mama Nkechi shouted again. The next day, everyone in Umueze village gathered at the square. Chief Ozo, the village head, stood on a wooden stool and raised his hand. "My people," he said, "if MonaLisa is truly back, we must find her. We must ask her why she left. We must ask her where she went." The villagers whispered among themselves. Some were scared, some were excited. The children were confused. Chinedu, a brave boy with quick feet, said, "I want to see MonaLisa. I want to ask her about the magic drum." "Keep quiet, Chinedu," his mother said. "This is not play." Chinedu had already made a plan. That night, when the moon was high, he took his small torch and left his hut. He ran toward the forest. As he got closer, he heard the sound of drums. Dum, dum, dum. But the drum was not like any drum he had heard before. It made the trees shake. It made his heart beat faster. Then he saw her. A girl stood under a big tree. Her hair was long, her eyes were bright like stars. She wore a wrapper made of red cloth, and on her back was a small wooden drum. "MonaLisa?" Chinedu said in a low voice. The girl turned slowly. "Yes," she said. "You came back." Chinedu smiled. MonaLisa did not smile. Her face was strong. "I came back to fight," she said. "Fight who?" Chinedu asked. "Ojukwu the Shadow," MonaLisa said. "He is still alive. He is still using the drum for evil, and now he wants to take Umueze again." Chinedu's eyes grew big. "But how can we stop him?" MonaLisa looked up at the moon. "We must go to the river of truth. That is where the fight will begin." Chinedu followed MonaLisa through the forest. The trees were tall and dark, and the night was full of sounds. Owls hooted, crickets sang, but MonaLisa walked without fear. "Are you not scared?" Chinedu asked her. "I was scared before," MonaLisa said. "But fear cannot help us now. Ojukwu is planning something big. We must stop him." Soon, they reached a small river. It was the River of Truth. The water was clear and shiny. It looked like glass. In the middle of the river was a rock shaped like a face. MonaLisa knelt beside the water. She took the drum from her back and tapped it gently. Tum, tum, tum. Suddenly, the river began to glow. A voice came from the water. "MonaLisa, child of the red moon, why have you returned?" "I have come to fight Ojukwu," MonaLisa said. "He stole the sacred drum. He broke the peace." The voice from the river said, "Then you must pass the 3 tests." Chinedu held MonaLisa's hand. "What tests?" "The test of heart, the test of strength, and the test of truth," the river said. "Where do we start?" MonaLisa asked. The voice replied, "Follow the path of the flame tree." Just then, a tree with red leaves lit up in the forest. MonaLisa stood up and nodded. "Let's go." Chinedu and MonaLisa walked toward the flame tree. As they walked, Chinedu asked, "Why did you leave the village for so long?" MonaLisa looked sad. "When I followed Ojukwu into the forest, I got lost. I met a spirit woman named Adaeze. She kept me safe. She taught me how to use the drum. I trained for many years." Chinedu blinked. "Many years? You look the same." "That is the magic of the forest," MonaLisa said. "Time moves slowly here." As they reached the flame tree, they saw a large lion sitting on the path. Its eyes were like fire. "This is the test of heart," MonaLisa said. "What do we do?" Chinedu asked, shaking. "We must walk past the lion without fear," she said. "But I'm scared." MonaLisa held his hand tight. Close your eyes and think of the people you love. That will give you courage. Chinedu closed his eyes. He thought of his mother, his little sister, and the children in the village. His heart became strong. They walked past the lion slowly. It looked at them, but did not move. When they passed the lion, it disappeared into dust. "We passed the first test," MonaLisa said with a smile. MonaLisa and Chinedu walked deeper into the forest. The trees were now taller, and the air was cold. The moonlight could not enter this part of the forest. "Is this where we face the next test?" Chinedu asked. "Yes," MonaLisa said, "the test of strength." Suddenly, the ground began to shake. From behind the trees came a giant with skin as black as coal and eyes that shone like fire. He had no weapon, but his hands were huge. With one slap, he could knock down a palm tree. "You must fight him?" Chinedu whispered. "No," MonaLisa said. "We must." "Me? I'm just a small boy. You have more power than you think," MonaLisa said. The giant roared. The giant roared. "Only the strong may pass." MonaLisa ran forward and hit her drum 3 times. Dum, dum, dum. A golden shield appeared in her left hand. She gave it to Chinedu. "Take this and block his hand when he strikes." Chinedu held the shield with shaking hands. The giant raised his fist and slammed it down. Boom! Chinedu blocked it just in time. The shield glowed and pushed the giant's hand back. MonaLisa jumped and clapped her hands. From the sky came a rope of light. She caught it and wrapped it around the giant's leg. "Chinedu, hit the drum!" she shouted. Chinedu took the drum and beat it once. Dum! The sound was so loud that the trees shook. The giant fell to the ground and turned into sand. Chinedu sat on the ground, breathing hard. "We did it!" "Yes," MonaLisa said. "You were brave. That was the test of strength." She smiled for the first time. They rested under a tree. MonaLisa brought out a small piece of roasted yam from her bag and shared it with Chinedu. He chewed slowly. "Do you miss your mother?" MonaLisa looked at the sky. "Every day. But I must finish this fight before I go home." After resting, they continued their journey. The forest became quiet, too quiet. Suddenly, a voice called out, "MonaLisa!" She turned. Standing behind them was a woman who looked just like her mother. "My daughter," the woman said, "come home. Forget the fight. Let us be a family again." MonaLisa stepped back. "This is not my mother. This is the test of truth." Chinedu looked confused. "But she looks like your mother." MonaLisa closed her eyes. "If I hug her, I will forget who I am. I will forget my mission." The woman stepped closer. "Don't you love me?" "I love my mother, but you are not her." The woman changed into a dark spirit and screamed. Then she vanished. The forest became bright again. A voice from the sky said, "You have passed the final test." A bright path opened before MonaLisa and Chinedu. At the end of the path stood a tall gate made of stone. On the gate was a symbol, a drum with flames around it. Chinedu touched it. "Is this where Ojuku is hiding?" "Yes," MonaLisa said. "Beyond this gate is the Valley of Shadows. That is where Ojuku keeps the stolen sacred drum. That is where we must fight him." As they pushed the gate open, a cold wind blew out. The sky above the valley was dark, and the ground was black like burnt clay. There were bones on the floor, and the trees had no leaves. Chinedu held MonaLisa's hand. "I'm scared again." MonaLisa looked at him. "It's okay to be scared, but don't stop walking." They walked slowly into the valley. Suddenly, a loud voice boomed from the darkness. "So you returned, little girl?" Ojuku stepped out of the shadows. He was taller than before. His skin was gray, his eyes were red, and on his back was the sacred drum of Umueze. MonaLisa stood tall. "You stole from my people. You turned the land dry. You broke the peace. Today I take it back." Ojuku laughed. "You think you can beat me with your little drum?" "No," MonaLisa said. "Not just me." She gave her drum to Chinedu. "Now we fight together." Ojuku lifted his hand and called forth shadow warriors from the ground. 10 tall, dark figures rose and ran toward the children. "Chinedu, the beat!" MonaLisa shouted. Chinedu beat the drum. "Dum, dum! Dum, dum!" MonaLisa clapped and jumped. Fire burst from her hands and formed a wall. The shadow warriors hit the fire and screamed. They could not pass. Ojuku roared, "You will not win!" He beat his stolen drum once, and a strong wind blew it, threw MonaLisa to the ground. "MonaLisa!" Chinedu shouted, but she stood up again. "We are not done!" She closed her eyes and spoke a word in the old language. "Cheta!" A bright light came from her chest. The ground shook. The spirit of the real drum flew from Ojuku's back and hovered in the air. "You cannot hold what does not belong to you." MonaLisa shouted. Ojukwu screamed and tried to grab the drum, but it flew into MonaLisa's hands. She hit it once. Dumb! Everything froze. The shadow warriors turned into dust. The wind stopped. Ojukwu fell to his knees. No, he whispered. How? MonaLisa stood over him. Because love is stronger than greed, and truth is stronger than lies. Ojukwu the shadow knelt on the black ground, weak and shaking. The stolen power had left him. His face was full of fear. MonaLisa held the sacred drum close to her chest. Its light was soft now like the morning sun. Chinedu stood beside her, proud and strong. It is over, MonaLisa said. No, Ojukwu shouted. I am the king of darkness. I will return. She looked at him with calm eyes. You have no power here anymore. Go, leave this land and never come back. Ojukwu screamed one last time and turned into smoke. The smoke rose into the sky and disappeared forever. The clouds above the Valley of Shadows began to move. Light came down. The trees started to grow green leaves again. The river in the valley began to flow. MonaLisa turned to Chinedu. You were brave. You too, he said. But will you come back to the village now? She smiled. Yes, it is time. 1 week later. The whole village of Umueze gathered at the square. Women sang songs, men danced, children ran around laughing. Chief Ozo stood on a tall stool. Today, we welcome our daughter, MonaLisa. She left us as a girl and returned as a warrior. The people clapped and shouted, MonaLisa! Nwani Diik! MonaLisa! Strong woman! MonaLisa walked into the square with Chinedu beside her. She held the sacred drum high. The drum has come home, she said. Mama Nkechi cried tears of joy. MonaLisa's mother ran and hugged her tightly. My daughter, my light, you came back. Yes, Mama, she whispered, and I'm home to stay. That night, they lit a big fire in the middle of the village. Everyone sat around it. MonaLisa told her story of the forest, the flame tree, the tests, and the Valley of Shadows. The children listened with wide eyes. The elders nodded with respect. When the fire died down, MonaLisa looked up at the stars. Chinedu asked, What will you do now? I will teach the children, she said. I will guard the drum and I will tell stories, our stories, so that no one forgets. And so MonaLisa stayed in Umueze. She became a wise woman, a teacher, and a protector. The land grew green again. Rain returned. The rivers flowed. The people were happy. But deep in the forest, under the red moon, they say the trees still whisper her name, MonaLisa. Here's a simple, short moral lesson from this amazing enchanting story in 10 parts. Number 1, be brave, even when you are scared. 2, always help others who need you. 3, love for your home gives you strength. 4, truth is more powerful than lies. 5, teamwork can defeat any enemy. 6, don't give up, no matter how hard it gets. 7, respect and listen to your elders. 8, courage comes from the heart. 9, protect what is important to you. 10, good always wins over evil.
Thank you so much for listening to today's enchanting story. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe for more magical tales that spark your imagination. Every story is a door to a new adventure, and I'm so glad you walked through it with me today. Stay curious, stay kind, and keep dreaming big. Until next time, keep the magic alive in your heart. I'll see you again soon for another wonderful story. Bye for now.